Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am Davian Clifton, and I am the host of the Call of Abraham. I am excited about another episode. I want to welcome everybody to the show. We are in episode 25. Can you believe it? 25. But let's start off like we always do. Join me in prayer. Father God, I thank you for this opportunity. I thank you for another chance, Lord, to share with the dozens, the hundreds, the thousands, and the millions of listeners that you have intended for this show, Lord. Lord, I ask that you minimize me as I maximize you, Lord. Touch my heart, touch my mind, touch my spirit, Lord, as I relay the message that you have placed on my heart. I claim success. I claim solidarity. I claim unity. Father God, I just want to thank you again. Bless each and every one that's listening. I ask you this in your son Jesus Christ's name I pray. Amen, amen, and amen. Again, welcome everybody. I am your host, Davian Clifton, and this is the Call of Abraham. I am excited about another episode. I am excited about another week. I'm excited about what's going on in the world. I'm excited about having another opportunity to talk to you, my friends, my family, my associates, my homeboys, my sisters, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for taking the time out to listen to little old me. Well, I ain't gonna say little because I ain't been little in a long time. But I wanted to talk today, this evening, about a topic that I had with a young man. Excuse me, my throat is a little scratchy. And he, excuse me, he reminded me of something that I've struggled with for, excuse me, for the majority of my I want to say adult life was my life period, but mainly my adult life. And that's placing unnecessary pressures on yourself as a man. Let me tell you about the conversation we had so maybe you can understand what I'm talking about. He was young man, he's a young guy, he's in his early 30s, he's married, got a couple kids, and we was talking about how things was going. I've known him for majority of his life. I've known him for a long time. I claim when I see guys like that, and I remember how old they were when I first met them. It reminds me of how old I'm getting. Because it's like, wow, you was a little baby, and now you got babies. So that means I'm getting old. But that's another topic altogether. I don't even want to go there right now. But I was asking how things were going. And he said everything was good. He said the normal response that all men say. We're going to say it's good whether or not the house is burning down. Very rarely you can hear a man say that things are exactly the way they are. We always have a response where, yeah, we're good, everything good, all is well, because we have to place this persona of we in charge, in control, we have everything under control, we handling our business. I know I'm famous for that. I'm very good at compartmentalizing my stress and my pressures. I can take it and place it up in a box and deal with it when I deal with it and act like everything is great. And then when time to deal with it, I take it out of the box and I got to handle it at that time. But right now, if I ain't got to handle it right now, I ain't dealing with it right now. I'm not putting that stress on me right now. But for I do that most of the time. I don't do that all of the time. I wish I did do it all of the time. Life would be a lot better. But he was telling me about how he was dealing with the things, and when he first told me, I thought he won't hit me with the main thing, money. You know, I was asking him how things were going with his wife because I've known his wife, his wife for a long time, and he said everything's good. I said, "What you mean?" I said, "What's up, man?" I said, "For real, how things going?" He said, "Well, man, everything good. It's just, the little stuff would drive me crazy." And I laughed, and he said, he could see that I laughed. I said, "Boy, I know where you coming from." I said, "It always seemed like it's something, huh?" And he looked at me, his eyes got big, like, yeah. I was like, "Yeah, I feel you, man." I said, I hate to tell you this, but that don't go away. I said, because it's always gonna feel like it's something. I said, and if you a brother that's handling your business, they looking at you to handle anytime any of those little things pop up. And he was like, yeah. He said, yeah. He's like, why they always asking me? Like I supposed to have to answer everything. I said, hey, welcome to the world of being the man of the house. Because when you're the man of the house, they expect you to handle everything. When you're the man of the house, they expect you to have an answer for everything. And if you're the type that's really progressive and you do a lot of stuff and you really, you know, and you can get your hustle on, like if you've shown that you can handle some stuff, oh, they coming at you. I said, and the thing about it is the male ego, we want it until we got it. We want it. Our male ego, you want to feel as though you can handle it. You want to feel as though you Superman. But even Superman had, kryptonite. And the thing about it is, when they come at you with some stuff and you know you can handle that, oh, you good. You knock that out. Like boom, boom, boom. That's no problem. But then when they come to the stuff that you uncomfortable with, you still gotta act like you can handle it, even though you know you ain't really comfortable with it. Prime example. I've never been a handyman, never in my life. I mean, all the way back to when I was a little kid. Because I mean, I know how it is. When people say every talent that you have, you was taught. Everything you know how to do, somebody had to teach you. Well, my daddy never taught me things like fixing and how to work on cars and how to carpentry and stuff like that. I didn't. I won't bless, and I don't even think he knew how to do that. But if he did, he never took the time to teach me. So I didn't know. So like basic stuff like, I can remember back in junior high school being in shop class and we building a birdhouse. And I really wanted my birdhouse to look nice. I really wanted mine. I wanted to be like one of the best birdhouses in the class, but mine was just not quite right. Like the corners weren't all the way 90-degree cuts and I had little extra cuts off the bandsaw and I never got an A on my project. I got like a B. And I think he was being nice to give me the B. Like my nails didn't always go down flush and I couldn't really, when I painted it or I stained it, it didn't really stain smoothly or uniform or evenly. It just I that was never me. And as I got older, that same trait, I guess the best word to say, continues on. And I ain't gonna say continued because it's continuing now. I'm that guy that, if I gotta build something, I absolutely hate to buy something that I got to put together. I mean, I hate it with a passion. I mean, it drives me nuts. Because I can remember Christmases, and you gotta really realize I had 4 kids, I mean 5 kids, 4 small ones at the same time, 4 girls. So Christmas was hell. Christmas, we know we buying doll houses, and doll houses got like 500 pieces. It seemed like, and I gotta sit here. I'm sitting there sweating. I can't get it right. I can't get the stickers right. The stickers are kind of crooked. The screws don't go all the way down. I'm missing something, or I finish it and I got extra parts laying over, and or if it's or something where it ain't don't sit flat. It wobbles a little bit because I know it ain't right, and that stuff frustrates me. It's to this day it frustrates me. Prime example, the other day, I think it was over the weekend. I get up, I go to bed. I get up early. I'm a early morning person. 4 o'clock, I wake up every day. Don't call me crazy. It's just a habit that I've developed. That's when I usually get up. I pray, brush my teeth, wash my face. I usually get my writing in. If I ain't writing, if I'm being lazy, I watch, you know, sports center. I'm just being honest. They say, uh, tell the truth, shame the devil. Sometimes I don't feel like writing. I just watch sports center or whatever. But I'm an early morning person. But the thing is, I get up at 4, around about 6 o'clock. My stomach waking up. I'm hungry. And I love to cook, and I love to cook breakfast. So I'm usually going in the kitchen, cooking me something to eat. Sad thing is, I can't just cook for myself because that's like a law in my house. If I cook, I got to cook for everybody in the house. That's a whole nother story. I ain't gonna go into that. We'll talk about that. That's another gripe that I got. And that is a gripe. And you can say what you want. I know some of the ladies laughing or shaking their head, but it is what it is. I don't understand why when I cook something, I can't cook nothing just for me. I gotta cook for the whole house. But other people can do their own thing. But again, that's another topic. Anyway, I'm in the kitchen. I'm about to cook me some, ham and eggs and making sure I got enough for everybody. I was standing at the sink washing out a pot pan, and then I realized that I'm standing in water. The little rug, we got a rug in front of our kitchen sink. The rug was soaking wet, so I stepped back. I'm like, what is going on? I opened the cabinet. It's right up under the sink. Everything under the cabinet wet. So what does that mean? There's a leak. I instantly said, "Oh Lord." Cause see, that's stress to me. That's instant stress to me. Cause now I got to try to figure out what's causing the leak, how serious it is of a leak, who I'm gonna get to fix it. Cause I know I can't fix it. I know I can't fix it. Ain't no need even fronting and acting like I can. You know, I went through that stage in my life in my 20s when I first got married, thinking I can do everything, watching HGTV and messing it up and end up paying more money to get somebody to fix it, to correct the mistake that I made trying to fix it, knowing that I ain't had no business trying to fix it from the beginning. Anyway, so I'm standing what I step back, I look up under there, and I realized that okay, it's a leak. I couldn't tell if it was coming from the top seal or if it was coming from the garbage disposal. But I said, okay. So I instantly moved clear the stuff out of the cabinet from under there, clean up the mess and all of that, put a bucket up under there. And then I started realizing, okay, Saturday morning, I ain't gonna find nobody to come fix it. Lord knows if I pay somebody to come fix it on the weekend, they're gonna charge me more of an arm. Instead of an arm and a leg, they're gonna charge me an arm and a leg and a foot. Plumbers don't play. Plumbers are expensive, always have been expensive, always will be expensive. Even a hookup dude is gonna bust you for at least 150, and that's a hookup job if you're lucky. So I said, okay, I got to deal with that. But going back to my partner, I was telling him about that, and he laughed because he said, "Yeah, I had the same situation in the bathroom. The toilet started leaking." I said, "Man, I've been there." And he was like, "Oh, my wife looking at me like I should fix it." I said, "Why?" Because her daddy, one of them daddies that fix stuff. He said, "Yeah." I said, "Man, I know." I said, "I hate guys like that." And I'm gonna say it out front. And for you guys listening that can fix everything, I can't stand y'all. Y'all make my back itch. You make me sick. I hate the handyman, even though if I know you, I need you to hook me up here and down there. But I hate guys like you because I ain't never been a guy like you, and it drives me crazy. But the thing, I was laughing at my buddy because he was saying, my wife looking at me like, why you just can't go get your tools and fix it? And he was like, Mr. Clifton, I ain't even got no tools. And I bust out laughing. I said, bro, I've been there. I said, I got 3 or 4 sets of tools and I still ain't got no tools because I don't know what I'm doing with them. And then I can't never find nothing when I look for 'em. I said, my kids have bought me sets of tools for different Christmases and Father's Days. And I got about 3 sets and still ain't got one. And he laughed. I said, man, I know. I said, but hey, you got to realize that it do fall up onto you. I said, because it's twofold. We want to be the man of the house, and that's what comes along with being the man of the house, handling stuff like that. Now, if you lucky and got a wife that can do stuff like that, then hey, God bless you, you good to go. But most of us don't, and from what you telling me, I don't think you do. He said, "Nah, my wife can't do nothing." I said, "I feel you." He said, "So I got to figure it out." He said, "Now everybody looking at me like, what you gonna do? Is got water in the bathroom?" I said, "Yeah, I know how it is." So now the stress is on you. I said, now you're putting the pressure on yourself because you want to try to fix it. And he said, I did. I said, oh, Lord. And I asked him how it turned out, and he did like I thought he did. He made it worse, which made him mad because every time his wife said something slick, and I know she did, that's what women do. Even when they try to be supportive, they'll throw a jab in on you, you know, like, well, if you could do this, or if you did that, or my daddy could do that, or something like that little gut punch. And they know what they're doing. They'll say, I didn't mean anything bad. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You know you did. And if you won't admit it, you're lying and you lie about other things. You know exactly what you meant when you said that, you know. And I know it drove him crazy. And he was like, yes, I'm trying to figure it out. He said, so I had to get the guy over. He said, I called the company. And I said, yeah, they were like ridiculous. He said, yeah. I said, I know. I said, you need to find you some people, man. I said, I got a guy. So in the future, you can call me. I said, I done developed a little hookup and some little people that I know. I said, one of my good friends, he's a contractor, so I can usually call him because he know everybody. I said, but you got to develop those on your own because if you can't fix it yourself, you got to find somebody who can fix it and try to be in a position where you ain't got to break the bank doing it. And he was like, man, that's what I'm saying. I got to worry about all that. He said, this is a job. I said, yeah, this is the most important job. I said, your other job is to pay for the bills and all that stuff. I said, but handling your family is your most important job. I said, and you got to be on it. And the thing about it is, it's never easy. It's never easy. And I ain't gonna sit here and lie to you and tell you that it will get easy. It will get easier. It doesn't. It doesn't. There's always something gonna pop up. Always something gonna pop up that's gonna challenge you as a man, as a father, as a husband, as a son, as a brother. Always something gonna challenge you with fixing something. Something gonna challenge you with finances. Something gonna challenge you your manhood for protecting your family. And I'm gonna be honest with you, those are the ones that scare you because I know you. You're a little crazy because I remember I said so. As you're getting older, you're learning to suppress that craziness, but it's still there. And again, he laughed. He said, "Yeah." He said, "I find myself. I realize that I can't go off like I used to." I said, "Exactly, because you got too much to lose now. Back in the day, somebody came at you wrong, you felt disrespected or something. You handle your business. You ain't thinking about what was going to happen. Now you got to think about what can happen before you do it. You know, that's all about being the man. That's all about being the head of your household. You got to realize that my actions has repercussions. And I gotta think about it. Sometimes it's gonna be hard to suppress it because your manhood gonna be challenged. Prime example. I remember back in the day, I could be riding down the street and somebody cut me off, and I get to blowing my horn, and they look at me sideways. I'm yelling, "Pull over, pull over!" I'm ready to fight on the street, quick to fight. Now I just let them go on by. Just I only care if it's blatant, it's crazy. I just let them go on by. Because for one, people crazy nowadays. People getting out of their car shooting nowadays. So, but two, I can't allow that part of me to rise up. Because even though I'm at my age, you would think I can control it. I can't once I allow that person that's in me, and I say a person because it's actually like another person. You know, I have like different personalities, and people think I'm crazy, but it's the truth. And that person in me is Big Dave. And when Big Dave rise up, it's very few people who can calm him down because he ready to burn down the city, and it's crazy. So I have to learn. So my calm personality is Davian. Well, no, I take it back. Davian is my business personality. My middle name is Robert. Robert is my calm personality. Robert has to be the peacekeeper. He has to be the one that keeps things sweet and nice and calm because he knows if Big Dave steps in, all hell gonna break loose, and it's not gonna be a pretty ending. So, I'm telling him, I said, being a father, I said, being a husband and being a father, you have to embrace that responsibility and realize that although you are the same person you used to be, your actions can't be the same. And people say you change. You don't change. You just learn to adapt and you learn to react differently. You learn to control your emotions. Yeah, and that's the main thing because things can pop off and happen quick. real fast. And you cannot react the same way because you don't want it to affect your family. So those are some of the, pressures that we place on ourselves that are unnecessary. It's like you have to learn that when things happen, okay, it ain't the end of the world. You gotta tell yourself that. But initially you're gonna trip. When some break, it's always something breaking. I swear, sometimes I think I got the clumsiest family in the world because there's always something broke. Washing machine broke, the sink leaking, the air conditioning ain't pumping like it's supposed to, the car, the truck knocking into some or some this that. There's always something, and everything always costs money and always creates stress. And from that stress, I place unnecessary pressures on myself as if it's the end of the world. And I guess I'm getting older because I have to realize that okay, what's the worst thing can happen? And I have to tell myself that, okay, I'm gonna be all right. You know, if the toilet ain't working right, use another one. If you ain't got another one, then do what you gotta do. But don't trip. And so many things can make you trip. I can remember one time a couple of years ago, and yeah, you guys got to realize that my mother, she's in her 80s. She'll be 85 this October. Thank God. I love my mom to death. I'm a mother's boy, mama's boy. I'm the president of the Mama's Boy Club, and I say that proudly. And my mom stays with us, and she has some health issues, but for the most part, she's great, strong, vibrant. She plucks my nerves, but I love every second of it. But she lives with us. But anyway, a couple years back, we had a hurricane coming through uh, Southeast Virginia area where I'm located at, and it got to the point where I had to decide on whether or not we were going to evacuate, whether or not we were going to head up north, maybe go to my sister's house up in northern in D.C., Maryland area, or do something just to get away. Because I would start really thinking like, man, what if I wait too late and something happened and it goes sideways? And I know y'all been saying, well, you can't, it ain't your fault. It's a hurricane. Yeah, y'all say that, but ultimately it will fall up on me because they're going to be like, well, why you ain't leave? Why you ain't get mama out of there? Because I mean, crazy stuff. And I'm thinking about like when Hurricane Katrina hit and them people was on top of the roof. And I'm literally sitting, I can remember coming home from work. I was working for a commercial cleaning company at the time. I remember coming home from work, sitting in the driveway, and panic was overcoming me because I'm sitting here worried about they were saying how the news was saying how with a chance it was coming, and that we may have to evacuate. I'm like, man, if I don't evacuate and something happen, and I'm looking at the house, I'm sitting outside the house, I'm saying, how the hell am I gonna get mama on top of the roof? Now, as crazy as that sound, that thought literally engulfed me. I mean, I was sitting in my truck, literally almost panicking, saying to myself, "Lord, man, if this thing come and what if it happen and what if it get crazy and it start to flood and I can't leave and what am I gonna do with mama? Mama got a bad back, bad hip, just had a knee replacement. I can't get mama up on the roof." And I'm literally putting that pressure on me, pressure of a natural disaster, wondering how am I gonna be the one to save my mama. And it's crazy when I think back on it because I'm saying that was seriously unnecessary pressure I was placing on myself. But it was real. And as unnecessary as it may seem, it was real. And I was seriously concerned about that. Because I'm like, okay, yeah, it's a small chance that can happen, but if it happen, I got to save my mama. I got to save my family. And I always tell my family, my kids live 5 minutes away from me and there. I always if something like that happen, I don't care what's going on. I don't care what y'all doing. I don't care what your job tell you. If we decide to roll out, we all rolling out. I don't want to hear it. I don't give a damn. If we rolling, we all rolling out. We'll deal with the jobs when we get back, but we getting up out of town. I'm not leaving nobody in my family. We rolling out, and that was, and I was telling a partner of mine about that, and he was like, "Man, that's crazy as that sound. That is real, because if something go wrong, everybody gonna be looking at you. They're gonna be like, 'Well, Dave, why you ain't do something?' And I'm gonna be like, 'Oh man, what the hell I supposed to do? It's a hurricane.' They'll be like, they don't care. You should be doing something. And that's like everything. If we accept the responsibility of being the head of the house, to being the man of the house, everything falls upon us. Everything. Even something as crazy as a spider. I got all these women in my house. Spiders major. Lord knows, don't let it be a mouse. Lord, if a mouse get in the house, it is pure chaos. I don't get no rest until I find if I can trap that and kill that mouse. It's pure chaos. And the crazy thing about it is, I don't like them. I ain't gonna sit and tell you I'm scared of them, but I'm gonna say that I don't like them. So I ain't one of them old country boys that go grab it with my hand. I had roommates like that in college. I'm like, nah, that ain't my thing. I don't like them. So I got to get mad and get my courage up to kill them. I mean, and I'm chasing and tearing up stuff and flipping over stuff to get to them. So I got to get mad to get them because I don't like them. I don't like them. But if we ever have a time, and you all have, everybody have, and see, we live in front of the woods. We got the woods in our backyard, so we all kind of critters everywhere. It's crazy. And anytime something like that happen, man, it's pure chaos in this house. It's ridiculous. And when that happened, the first thing I'm thinking is, Lord Jesus, now I got to deal with a mouse. I got to deal with the craziness, and that's why when people know me, they be like, dude, what you do, man? Man, the best day for me is a Saturday afternoon during football season, doing nothing but sitting back, chilling, not talking to nobody, watching some college football, got me some snacks and some nice grapes or something. I might have ordered me a pizza or something. Don't bother me for that afternoon. I just want peace. I don't want to have to deal with nothing. I don't want to have to be about nothing. I don't want a phone call to ring. I don't want my daughter calling me from her house because her house problems become my problems. So that's two houses that I'm dealing with: stopped up sinks, leaking toilets, showers leaking, front door don't stick, craziness. But that's the life of the man of the house. And the thing about it is, if you weren't raised that way, and if you weren't raised and you witness your father being that, you have no clue of what to expect. You have no clue. And so many brothers are like that. So many brothers have found ourselves in that position where people, you got all these people, your wife, your kids, and looking at you to correct a problem. And you've never had to correct a problem before like that in your life. And they expect you to know what to do and do it quickly. And it's so amazing how we find ourselves in situations where we're like, man, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. What am I supposed to do? And the thing about it is, we have to handle it. That's part of who we are. And it's always something, you know. And I had going back to my conversation I had with my partner, my little buddy. I was telling him, I said, man, I hate to tell you this, but it don't get no better. Only way it gets better is that you know what you got to do. You ain't gonna know how to do it. You ain't gonna know the best way to do it. You just know that you got to do it. So you embrace that. I said, but it don't get no better. It don't feel no better. Every time something come up, you like, Lord, here we go again. So you ain't gonna never be comfortable with it. You ain't gonna never be happy about it. You ain't gonna never. You be like, Lord, here goes something else. What now? You gonna get to the point where you hear somebody that wrong daddy call. Because, the kids got different daddy calls. They got the begging daddy call. My daughters be like, Daddy. That's that begging daddy. Then, but you can be like, Daddy. That means something broke or something wrong. That's that wrong daddy. You don't like to hear that daddy because something to happen. And you like, man, and you trying not to cuss in front of the kids and you trying to say, what y'all? And, but you got to handle it because if we want that crown, and I don't care how y'all feel about me saying the crown, but hey, if you want that crown, it's a lot of responsibility that comes with that crown. You know, it's a lot of. It don't just mean you get the big piece of chicken. like my dad and the kid back in the day, they get the big piece of chicken. Or we eat hamburger helper. My dad used to get a steak on Friday nights. Used to drive me crazy. I can't wait to be grown there and get my steak. You know, but it's more than that. It's so much more than that. You just got to embrace it because that's who we are. You know. Now, yeah, it's benefits to it. I ain't gonna say act like it ain't no benefits to it. Nothing makes me feel better to know that my family is happy, or they content, or they believe in me. That's that is the main reason for me living. To know that my family believes in me, that they trust me. You know, that when something go wrong, they call me. Because you can ask my kids, man, I don't care what you ask them, what can happen. They say, hey, you know, if an apocalypse coming, what you gonna do? They gonna all say, I'm gonna call my daddy, and I don't know what I'm gonna know what I'm gonna do, but they gonna call me. They gonna call me. Sure, and they call just as nonchalant, like I'm calling my daddy. And the thing about it that I love, this is why I deal with the situation like this because I never had that feeling. My daddy wasn't that person, and I didn't really have that kind of relationship with my daddy. So I never said I'm gonna call my daddy. No, I never, and I didn't. And there's so many people that's in that situation, and because I didn't do it when it first happened to me, I embraced it. It felt great, but it also terrified me too, because like knowing that people depend on you and expecting you to be Superman when in reality you ain't but nobody but Clark Kent and you ain't got no phone booth to jump in and switch on no cape. You just regular old Clark Kent, but you got to try to find a way to make it happen. That's that pressure. Um, so I wanted to share that with other brothers because I know other brothers are dealing with it. And because the reason why I want to share, because so many brothers are dealing with it and feeling as though they are falling short on being who they're supposed to be. Because our ego is so big. Our ego is big and we think we're supposed to be able to do everything. But you're a human being. You only can do what you can do. One thing I learned and I embrace is to stay in your lane. Know what you can do, know what your limitations are, and stay in your lane. Don't let nobody hype you up and tell you, oh yeah, you can do this, you can do this. When because when you look in that mirror, that's the only person gonna tell you the truth. That person in the mirror gonna tell you because you know what you can do. You know what your limitations are. Now you sit here and let that person, whether it's your spouse, your partner, your friend, or whoever, hype you up. Like the kids say, put a battery in your back and get you all hyped up. When you know deep down, you don't know what the hell you're doing. You know, trust me, save a lot of stress, a lot of money, a lot of time. Stay in your lane. If you don't know what you're doing, spell it on something you got to fix. Man, Lord Jesus, yeah. Don't look at go. Don't see. It used to be HGTV. HGTV was a channel from hell. I used to say because it got me in so much trouble. Now it's YouTube. YouTube will make you think you can do a heart transplant. You watching a video, you be like, man, I can do that. That's easy enough. I can do that. Nah, you know what you can do. You know what your limitations are, and stay in your lane. Specialize in. Specialize in whatever your specialty is. Yeah, I ain't saying you can't learn nothing else. Yeah, but it's times to learn things and when it's not. You need to discern when is that time. You know, having a leaky toilet ain't the time to try to figure out how to replace that toilet when you and your partner ain't never done it neither. And both of y'all in there tearing your toilet out your bathroom trying to fix it, fix one for the first time because you watched it on YouTube. That ain't the time. No, no, you can get a professional plumber over there, and while you in there, you can watch them and ask questions and help, and then maybe you can try it the next time. But now, don't be winging stuff like that. And I'm telling you from experience, been there, done that. I lost a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of heartache, a lot of embarrassment. Cause see, the same ones who will put that bat in your back and hype you up, when you don't do it right, they gonna also throw them jabs at you and laugh, and they gonna and it never gonna end. I get joked about stuff that I did 20 years ago. Daddy, you remember when you supposed to put them flowers down and you went to spend all that money on all them flowers, and them flowers were dead in less than a week? This I just heard this. Just heard this from one of my daughters because she know that's a thorn, for lack of a better word, in my side. But so they ain't gonna never let you live it down. So listen to me when I tell you this. Stay in your lane. There's a time to learn to do new stuff, and there's time not to. You know, realize what you can do, and don't put unnecessary pressure on yourself because you don't know how to do it. Don't nobody know how to do everything. Sometimes it seems like somebody know how to do everything. Sometimes they do know how to do a lot of things. But one thing I learned is the people that I was, for lack of a better word, jealous of that could do so many things, they end up coming to me for other things that I was able to do that they didn't know how to do. Because my experiences took me places that they didn't go. So I ended up helping them do stuff they didn't have no idea how to do. And it came natural to me, but they're looking at me like I'm the brightest thing in the world. So again, specialize in what you specialize in. Stay in your lane. And don't worry. If you don't know how to do it, you don't know how to do it, man. It's just that simple. And when she or he or whoever's there trying to pump you up to do something that you know you don't know how to do, look at them, smile. You ain't got to say nothing slick. You ain't got to cuss them out because you're going to want to. But you can just say, no, no, that's all right. I'm going to get somebody to do it. And they be whining, oh, you spending money? Okay, yeah. But at least I know they got it right. And if it ain't right, I can get them to come back and fix it. If I try and I mess it up, then I got to pay somebody to come and fix my mess up, which is going to cost me more than it would have been from the beginning. I'm telling you, I said that so many times. So learn to control your ego because our ego is our number one enemy, and do the things that we need to do, which is handle your business. And sometimes handling your business don't mean handling it personally with your own hands. Sometimes handling your business is getting the right person to do what you need to do. Sometimes you got to delegate. Sometimes you got to find the person who specializes in what needs to be done, them do it. The job is still done. And that took me a while to learn that your goal is to get it done. The goal is to get it fixed. The goal is to solve the problem. You ain't got to be the one to solve it. You got to be the one to find the answer to get it done. That's the best lesson I can pass on to you. Brother to brother, trust me on that one. Fight your ego to want to be the one to fix it, and find somebody who know what they're doing. And that's in everything. That's in carpentry work, plumbing, that's in financing. Because if you won't do it right, again, my experience, you don't think you can think you know what you're doing, and you're gonna make a lot of mistakes. I made a ton of mistakes right now. I done did everything wrong you can possibly think of dealing with finances. I had somebody that could teach me when I first started out. I ain't even had nobody that could teach me. I ain't had nobody in my circle that could teach me or was willing to teach me. That's another story by itself. I wish, bump all the other stuff. I wish somebody would have taught me how to handle my finances because that caused so much pressure and so much stress. Finances are the number one cause of divorce. So if that's the issue that anybody's dealing with, ask for help. Swallow your pride and ask for help. Ain't nothing wrong with saying, hey man, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to pay these bills. I don't know how to get this stuff right. It's like I'm digging, I'm getting deeper and deeper in the hole. Swallow your pride and ask for help. Trust me. Believe me on that one. Don't think you're gonna just be able to figure it out like I did. And I don't know why I thought that. If I didn't know how to do it in the beginning, I don't know where the answer was gonna come from. And I was still making every bad decision you can make, So again, stop putting unnecessary pressures on yourself. So I'm gonna go ahead and end the show with that. I'm so glad to be back on air. I'm so glad to share with you guys. I'm so glad uh got coming up in September. Fall. Fall is my best favorite time of the year. I love going, with the football season and going into the holidays and everything. I'm excited about what's coming up. I'm excited about what the Lord is doing with the podcast. We have some changes coming up that I'm really excited about that I've been working on. Start bringing on some guest speakers and some guests that we can talk about some subjects, can really get into it. Start being able to accept phone calls and bringing people on. I'm looking to have some drives. I may have a toy drive that's coming up this Christmas. I'm trying to see how that line up. I'm just trying to do something. I want to make a difference. I want to help. I want to be a help. I want to be assistance to people that's in need, and I don't want to just be doing the holidays. So with that, just stay tuned. I'm definitely going to utilize you guys because I need to without you. So I'm going to go in this with the pledge as always. I pledge to accept the responsibility of being the head of my house and acknowledge that this is a privilege, not a right, to provide for and protect my family, to set the proper example in all my doings for my family to follow, to be an asset and not a liability to my family, and realize that it's not about me. Thank you guys. I look forward to talking to you next week. Have a wonderful, fantastic week. And love you. Ain't nothing you can do about it. God bless.